Freeform from the KZAP era was the cutting edge of everything. I mean, these guys were really the avant-garde of like culture and music, and that's still something we strive to do. But there's a lot more places people can go to get that now, whether it's like internet sites or just other venues. So these guys were doing it when no one else could, and I think that's the thing that really distinguishes Freeform radio in the 60s and 70s, is they took the mantle of we are going to go out there and find the greatest music and put it on the airwaves and be really on the cutting edge of not just what culture would become, but to push against what culture was at that time. And it's a legacy that, you know, we strive to live up to, but we have to strive because they did it really well.
As far as music today that is on the cutting edge, do you find a lot through the mountains of CDs you have to go through?
I think our music directors do a really great job. We get about 300 albums a week at the station just being sent to us that we cull through, as well as the stuff we go out into the world and request and buy. And so we are going through a lot of content, but our DJs are really passionate, and that's really what we depend on, is not just 2 or 3 people, but each person taking responsibility of a particular genre or a particular style or just something that they love enough to invest a lot of hours into finding really unique, rare, and exciting things from, and then to bring that to the table. And so it really couldn't happen without our volunteer DJs. That's really who we depend on. They're the ones that go out and troll through record bins for hours and hours just to find like one cool record to play on the airwaves.
Wow. The big issue was who was going to get to pay for the changeover in projection equipment from film to digital projectors. And you know, the theater owners thought the studios should pay for it because it was their product. And of course the studio said, no, it's your business, theater owners, you should pay for it. They kind of came to a balance later, and so that there wouldn't be a big falderall and all of a sudden movie production would stop. But just about every theater now is video projection. And so,
I didn't know that.
To answer that question, at the Crest, yeah, they have a big video projector about mid-house, and it looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I saw it in August. It looked really nice. I saw some of those short films you were talking about. So tell me about this film here.
Well, this film was actually written by a gentleman, Frank Ingram, who was just retired from the state. I was just telling Alex that the interesting thing with Access is that the film festival, called a place called Sacramento, was primarily meant for young people to get into the filmmaking process and rub elbows with the pros. Well, the opposite now is happening. This film was actually made by about 5 people that are, almost all of them are over the age of 60. So it's kind of a senior citizens film festival at the same time. But then you were saying the music industry is kind of in the same place.
Yeah, it'd be great to, you know, get to that level, but it doesn't have to be. A lot of people make careers on the more smaller indie side, and you've never even necessarily heard of their name, but they've been doing it for years.
Right.
Flying underneath the radar of underneath radio. You know, and now with internet, obviously, people can make careers out of just being an internet sensation.
So let's talk about indie music, since I'm really focused on indie music these days, more so than major label music. In fact, I don't even listen to radio that much anymore because radio is dominated by major label music. But I could see why major labels spend that kind of money, because they want to have the big, full, loud sound compared to what indie music sounds like, which does not sound that big on the radio when played back to back with some of this stuff. But like you're saying, you don't really need to spend that much money to have a great recording.
You don't. I mean, you think about anything that you do that you really love to do, or not necessarily what you love to do, but what you have to do. I mean, you think about, okay, I could buy a car for $10,000 or $12,000 or $15,000, whatever it is, but there's plenty of people out there that spend $30,000. Do you have to buy a $30,000 car? It's because you want to buy a $30,000 car.
Right.
So what is it that you want to do with your money? Is it, you know, come into the studio and do a nice studio, a reasonably priced studio, and spend as much time as you possibly can there? Or is it, you want to go buy you know, a brand new Lexus? It's, you know, really your call. I mean, think about people that spend, you know, it's amazing to me, people will spend, you know, $5,000 on the guitar rig, but spend $100 in software recording, and that's it.
Right.
You know, it's again, what is it that you want?
Well, do you find yourself competing against people just using their own software to record?
You do on some level, and at the same time, there's a place for that. I always tell people it's great to start, lower, and the more next steps that you get, the more and more appreciative of the next step that you've gone to.
First of all, the indie artist has to know what their end goal is. Obviously, having the right people in the band is a great place to start, and that's hit and miss.
Chemistry.
That's hit and miss, and sometimes it takes a while. But to have a vision, do you just like to get together and jam, or do you have a vision for the type of music that you want to play? I have some friends, and their music's called Junkyard, or their band is called Junkyard Academy.
I know them.
Yes.
I like their music.
Geek pop.
Yeah.
They've got it down. They've got their brand. They've got their look. The Kimberly Trip is another example.
Another great friends of
They
mine.
know what they
Jeffrey
play.
and Prince.
Yeah, they've got a great look. They put on a show.
Great storyteller songs.
Yes. Stillwood Sages. Oh my gosh, their music, the story in those songs and the soul. I mean, those are very, very different genres just right there. But they're great musicians, and they have a theme. They know how to bring it to the stage, live music. So, but one thing I love about Junkyard Academy is their lead singer, the originator of the band, Louis Noasad, is on it when it comes to social media, when it comes to promoting. But he's a storyteller just in an email.
Oh yeah, we've had great emails back and forth.
But you know what they have too, that sometimes, and this isn't always easy to get, but one thing I noticed about their group in general, because I have an interview that will be posted as well with them on the show. They are funny. They're entertaining. I mean, you don't have to be a comedian to make indie music work, but you need to engage with your audience, and their form of engaging is humor.
Okay. Do me a favor, stick it inside your shirt so they don't get caught on anybody. All right, I want you guys to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 5 minutes, that sun's gonna go down. You guys are gonna be sitting in the shade, okay? So you can wear your sunglasses until then if you like. All right. Is anybody sitting next to someone they know? You two know each other? How long have you been dating? No, I'm kidding.